Good evening, and welcome to Hudson High School for tonight's regional soccer matchup between the visiting Eau Claire North Huskies and your hometown Hudson Raiders. Please turn your attention to the video board for a message from our captains for this year's team. God, that sounds way clearer.
The WIAA Big Rivers Conference in Hudson High
it's a better
School
mic.
requires good sportsmanship at education-based interscholastic events. We ask all in attendance to appreciate the efforts of all competitors, coaches, and officials in a positive manner. We all play an important role in providing opportunities for all participants to compete in a healthy and safe environment. Lastly, please be reminded that the state law prohibits the use of alcohol and tobacco products in the area used by public schools. Would you all please rise and honor America by removing your hats for the national anthem?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we'd watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you to senior Braden Schroeder for the national anthem performance. Braden will be graduating tomorrow, so it was great to have him here tonight. And now for tonight's starting lineups. For the visiting Eau Claire North High School Huskies, number 0, Ella Peterson. Number 3, Abby Liddell. Number 5, Leah Ludke. Number 7, Tatum Carey. Number 10, Claire Gannon. Number 11, Rebecca Renslow. Number 14, Hallie Steinmetz. Number 15, Ellie Knutson. Number 18, Leah Nelson. Number 19, Ava Berg. And number 21, Shelley Bowman. The Huskies are coached by Terry Albrecht and Alex Nicholson. And now for your hometown Raiders. All right, and good evening, everyone, and welcome to another River Channel broadcast of Hudson Raider Girls Soccer. Tonight we have some action right off the bat. Eau Claire North getting deep into Raider territory and getting a cross on, but no shot off. Now the Raiders counterattacking. Sophia Nault in the middle of the field, getting it out to Allie Stubendick. Puts a big boot up the middle. Lots going on there. A little offsides. Nope, no stop there. Little quick action there by the Raiders. So until those last 5 minutes, Dave, you'll only stop the clock if the ref does this. Yeah. All right, folks. So getting back to things, we're here in Hudson, Wisconsin at Hudson Raider Stadium. Just a few years old. Here we go again. Here comes Sophia Nault. This could be trouble here. And Sophia Nault with the breakaway score for the Raiders. And that's Sophia Nault, number 17, with the goal for your Raiders. A quick strike goal for Sophia Nault. Pretty much an unassisted goal there. She took that ball and just went the distance, about 20 yards, and waited nicely for the goalie to make a move and then put it into the goal. So the Raiders take an early 1-0 lead at about just a little bit over 1 minute into the match. That's one thing with the Raiders is they tend to take a little bit to score. So a strike with just a minute into the game is pretty exciting. So here we go. Raiders are in dark blue, playing from left to right on your screen, and the Eau Claire North High School Huskies are in white, playing from right to left on your screen. For those of you that are unfamiliar, they are rivaling soccer programs and cities that are about an hour apart from each other here in the Big Rivers Conference. So definitely a rivalry match here. So it's a rainy night here in Hudson. Delay in the game, about a 45-minute delay due to lightning hitting, and then the delay that caused and the fact that players were not even warming up before that delay. And here come the Huskies. They get something going up the middle. So oof, lots going on there. Maggie McConnell chasing that ball in, and Leah Kendhammer coming out to get it. So nice play there, but that kind of thing can be very close. There's Rancinici putting the ball up into a little too far and collected by the Huskies goalkeeper there. So the couple different things going on with these two communities. The Husky seniors have been out of school for well over a week, and the Raider seniors had their last day of school today. So their minds and are in very different places, probably at least the seniors, on these teams. So with the rain, the temperatures have cooled a bit too, so it's a much more pleasant playing atmosphere. It's still sprinkling a little bit, so the fans probably aren't loving it, but for players it's a little much cooler than the 90 degrees we've had. And here we go. Stubendick can make a play here. Eau Claire elects to just kick that ball out of bounds, though, so the Raiders will have a throw-in. There's Grace Hansen giving it back to Stubendick, who's going to throw it in. Riley White plays it over to Rancinici. He's going to give it back to Jillian Brown. Makes a little cut play. Grace Hansen fighting for position there. Can I open my window? If it gets bad, I'll close it. No worries. It's just much easier to see. Get it? Oh, that's beautiful. We all right? Okay. Playing with the sound system here a little bit. Lots set up here in the booth for graduation. The Hudson Raider seniors will be graduating tomorrow. So the ceremony is tomorrow night. Be outdoors here at Hudson Raider Stadium, and so a lot goes into that, obviously. And we made a few adjustments, and now we're ready to roll. Kendhammer, the big punt there, taken down by Grace Lewis in the center and out to Stubendick, who brings it out to Hannah Huntley, who now sends it up to Sophia Nault. Sophia's got some speed, but not enough to catch up to that ball, unfortunately. And the Huskies will get a throw in deep in their territory. Huskies have made a few runs, but largely the offense has belonged to the Raiders. Grace Hansen fighting off there and getting position to hold on to the ball, but the Huskies take that ball back. Collapsing D, Riley White, nicely played defense there out to Stubendick. Makes a turn. Tries to get around, but the ball gets a little bit out of Allie's reach, and it'll be another Huskies throw. Huskies stay tough and get the ball up. They've got a little chance here. Not much with the offense here, but now some players have caught up. Quick little cross in. Kendhammer collects it. Not too much there, so Raiders get it and start advancing it up the field. That's Kylie Newis out there on the far side, midfield. Be a Huskies throw. Invite anyone tuned into the YouTube channel to give a post and a shout out for who you're tuning in to watch, or which team you're backing, or it's always also fun to know where you're at because we get people from all over the country tuning in, and so put it in there and we'll give you a shout out. Whether you're a Hudson Raider or an Eau Claire Husky. So my college roots go to Eau Claire, so I don't mind giving the Huskies a little bit of love either. So here we go. Hannah Huntley fighting it out on the sideline. Ellie Stubendick sets things up nicely. There's Rancinici, gets a little flick move. She chases it down, and the Huskies elect to kick that ball out of bounds. We'll give the Raiders a quick throw. Stubendick on the throw. Into Riley White. Over to Jillian Brown, who sends it up, but kind of a miscommunication there, and that ball's a little out of reach of any of the Raiders, and the Huskies will get the throw with about 8.5 minutes into this match. Huskies with the ball, trying to move it up through the Raider defense, but taken by Grace Lewis. Attempted little flick pass there by Rancinici, gets away from her. Grace Hansen now collecting it back in the middle of the field. Grace Lewis with a nice little crossing pass there to Rancinici, but nice defensive play by the Huskies, who then tries to send the through ball through. There's Maggie McConnell getting some heat from behind, but Maggie's able to kick that ball out of bounds and thwart that threat, and the Huskies will have the throw in deep in Raider territory. Cleared out by Grace Lewis, kicked out of bounds by the Huskies. Kylie Lewis lining up to take the throw. Good play there by Grace Lewis, keeping that ball alive, and goes off the Huskies. Raiders will get a throw. They elect to bring it back to space where you can control the ball. Ball goes out of bounds. Allie Stubendick with the throw. Big throw. Rancinici in the corner. Brings it back to Stubendick, who tries to get a cross on, but gets disrupted, and the Huskies elect to kick that ball out of bounds, and the Raiders will have another throw. Allie Stubendick lined up to take that again. Riley White bringing that ball over to Jillian Brown, spreading it over to Kylie Lewis. Big cross in by Brown. There's a setup. Grace Hansen with a nice shot. Really queued up well. She got a good blast on it. Unfortunately, headed right to the Huskies goalkeeper, who managed it well, but nice play there and shot by Grace Hansen. Huskies now with the ball. See, we have a couple posts here. Beth Weiskopf, friend of mine. Beth, this is Jeff Ion here, if you didn't know it. Beth is a 96 alumni of the Raiders girls soccer team, and is cheering on Riley White, and Beth's team went to state and got second back in the day. So hopefully this year's Raiders can do at least as well as yours, Beth, and I hope you're well. And Riley White definitely seems to be playing well tonight as usual. So good to have you listening, Beth, and everyone else. Huskies now trying to push that ball up, a little out of reach. Be a Raiders throw-in. When I hit the mic button, it did that. That's better. Am I too close? Okay. Gotcha. Substitutions for the Raiders. Number 19, Navia Tillman, and number 24, Olivia Petty. Gotcha. Nice play there by Riley White. Off balance, breaking up that pass. Be a Raiders throw off a Husky kick off the Raiders there. now about almost getting into the 15th minute or so of this match, and the Raiders continue to lead 1-0. In the corner is Jillian Brown, who gets somehow gets that ball out of that mess and up the line. Olivia Petty applying some pressure. Huskies try a sneaky pass there, but Nevaeh Tillman gets a short clear, but this one's going a little bit back and forth between the teams. Ultimately, the Huskies get the throw. Okay. This must, the ball through by the Huskies is going to be a goal kick for the Raiders, and I also see we have another Riley White fan here as well, tuned in. Scott, watching from the Dirty Jers, New Jersey. Good to have you, Scott, and all the love for Riley White is certainly paying off because she's playing great tonight. 16 minutes into the match, Raiders continue to lead 1-0. Ball's over to Tillman and called out of bounds. Be a Huskies throw. Catherine Gavin, thank you for that correction. I'm glad you're here and watching and helping me with pronunciations. It's good to have Nevaeh in the game here. She's a great player. I've enjoyed watching her all season, and glad you're tuning in from Portland, Oregon. That might be one of the longer tune-ins we've had this year with the girls team. So thanks for all of that. Going to have a Huskies throw-in. Foul called there as Olivia Petty gets knocked down, and Hannah Kendhammer, the goalkeeper, is going to take this kick. Big kick there. Huskies are all over the place right now, applying a lot of pressure. They're controlling the ball. They haven't produced a good, solid scoring attempt yet, but but they're working hard to make things happen. Here comes Grace Hansen. Puts a big long ball up and out wide, but way out of the reach of Rancinici, and it's going to be a throw-in for the Huskies. It's going to be Raiders throw. Huntley kicked it off the Huskies player there, and Raiders will get the throw. Big boot through. Nobody home for the Huskies though, and the Raiders are working it now in defense. They're Huskies are definitely keeping the ball in the Raiders' half. Again, not much to show for it yet, but they're getting the ball where they want it. Can I try it, Ryan? Number 22, Natalie Ramthen in the game for the Raiders. Doesn't seem to be doing it now. I moved my phone. I don't know if it'd be my phone. It's good. Okay. Raiders with the ball through to Sophia Null. Just a tough touch there. Oh, it's a great pass. Ramthen with the goal. What a play by the Raiders. And that's a goal for the Raiders. Number 22, Natalie Ramthen. Did that go or no? Okay. And that's a goal for number 22, Natalie Ramthen and the Raiders. So Natalie just into the game, literally 30 seconds or so before that, and gets a beautiful setup pass, and she's wide in the clear. Huskies were all drawn to the ball, and Ramthen had the time to take a step and a look, and when you have that, along with some skill like Natalie does, you're going to make good things happen, and that's Natalie's second goal in the two regional games so far, so pretty exciting for freshman Natalie Ramthen. Natalie may have been a little extra pumped up to do something because I named her as a starter and she was not a starter. So when I did the announcement, so she definitely got a starter's goal there, though. So good job for her and the Raiders. Now up 2-0. That was about 21 minutes into the match. A good start for the Raiders. Got to be a little frustrating for the Huskies. They had a good 5 to 10 minutes of really solid control of the ball in Raiders territory, and then the Raiders had a quick counter there and just made it worth everything it could be. And but the Huskies will fight back. I've seen them a couple times this year. They don't give up, and there's too much time in this game, and a 2-goal lead is one of the worst leads to have in soccer. So it's Riley White over to Nault, into Ramthen, sends it up into Grace Hansen and out to Olivia Petty, who has to bring it back. Smart move. Grace Hansen up on the corner to Nevaeh Tillman, sends it through. Nobody home. So Eau Claire gets a clear, but there's Tillman again, sending this time a big cross. A little bit behind Nault, so she wasn't able to handle that, and it's going to be a Huskies throw-in. Hannah Huntley trying to get around the Huskies' defense, but puts the ball out of bounds, and that'll be another Huskies throw. It's Tillman on the sideline. Quick turn by Tillman, just ran out of space. Right idea, just a little too tight on the line there. So far, the Raiders with 4 shots on goal and 2 scores. It's a pretty good percentage. Quick cut back there by Maggie McConnell. Nice move, Maggie. Up the line to Tillman. Raiders throw. Big trip there. Nope, not yet. Nope. Ref giving a warning. Probably the right thing there. Definitely a cardable offense, but often referees like to start with a warning. So the Raiders are going to have a free kick. McConnell's going to take it. She's quite adept at putting that right where you want it, even from that kind of distance. And comes up a little bit short, but Raiders are there to collect it. And there's another big trip from behind. Now we stop the clock. Yep. And I think the ref has seen two pretty serious trips. Might have been the same player, actually, back to back. And so he issues the yellow card. Yellow card means the player has to leave the match. And she can come back in, though. She just has to leave for a short amount of time, so she can actually come back in the next stoppage if they want her to. And now the Raiders are going to have a pretty prime spot here, about 30 yards out. They'll easily be able to chip this where they want it. Huskies coaches are wanting some explanation, but I think it's pretty, anytime you trip in somebody from behind like that at any level of soccer, it's largely going to be a card, and the ref gave a warning the first time. So that warning sort of sends a warning to the entire team, not just to the player that, he doesn't want to tolerate that. But not for sure what that conversation was about, but ref is backing the players up a bit, and now the Raiders will get their free kick. Got three Raiders there. Probably going to try a little misdirection between the three of them. Referee's going to get them re-kick that because the Huskies encroached on that. Even with the misdirection by the Raiders players, the Huskies can't come within 10 yards. Yeah, once she... No. You'll start it on the kick. Yep. Here we go. Big kick by Petty. A little high if they were looking for a pass on that. A little wide if that was a shot. But good attempt. Good strike. Maybe it's when I use my thumb it does it.
What?
When I use my thumb it does it. Maybe I'm pushing too much of it. Substitutions for the Raiders: number 4, Jillian Brown, and number 7, Kaylin Cook. And number 11, Armana Rancinici back in the game for the Raiders. Big ball up for the Raiders, but the Huskies are all over that. Huskies try to get around Hannah Huntley there, but aren't able to. It's going to be a Huskies throw. Good run there for the Huskies. Just kind of ran out of space and be a Raiders goal kick. Number 11, Rebecca Renslow, back in the game for the Huskies. So Rebecca Renslow back in the game after the yellow card. Got a breather, come back into play. When playing off the yellow card, it will, if she gets another yellow card, then it'll be a red card, which is an ejection from the game, and you do not get to replace her in that case. With the yellow card, the Huskies were able to substitute a player for her. If it should become a red card situation, then there is no substitution. You play shorthanded, but that rarely will happen. Players usually correct that, and Rebecca's a solid player and will certainly look to avoid that as well. So with playoffs in the regionals, I'm not sure what the red card impact is, but sometimes a certain number of yellow cards and or red cards will affect whether they can play in the next match. Usually a red card is at least a one additional game. Big ball in by the Raiders, and the goalkeeper did not choose to catch that ball and sort of batted it down. But Raiders pumped it in the goal, but I think he felt the Raiders should have given the goalkeeper more space, and so no goal for the Raiders. Kind of a sticky play there. Yes. Nope, just the second half. Huskies move that ball around, trying to get it out of their defensive end. Big ball up by the Huskies. There's Riley White collecting it. Rampton over to Ransonici, who gets it out wide. It's a nice play. Kylie Newis there, but too much defense in the way. Now down to about 10 minutes in the half. Fighting it out in the box. That makes everybody nervous. Huskies clear it, but kind of in the wrong direction, but they are able to save it, so it's just a throw in. Good attempt there by the Raiders, just kind of ran out of space. Some subs here. That's number 3, Grace Lewis. Number 12, Grace Hansen. And number 17, Sophia Nault, back in for the Raiders. Looks like a foul called there, so be a Huskies free kick. Getting the ball through, Ransonici and Stubendick kind of chasing that one down. So again, looking at some of the comments here, we have the Riley White fan club tuning in from all over the country. Pretty exciting. We'll watch this as the Raiders get the ball deep. Quick turn there. Good play on both sides there. The Huskies throwing deep in their territory. Very deep. Tried the head flick and it actually worked pretty well, but there's Grace Hansen. Knocks it out of bounds. Went off a Husky. It'll be Grace Hansen throwing that ball in. Throws it lightly to Nault, and Hansen goes for a cross, but Huskies defense is there. Puts it right back out of bounds for a throw-in. Grace Hansen again. Now Hannah Huntley's going to take the throw. Puts it into Rancinici. Kind of came off her hard, though. Good hustle by Grace Hansen. Puts the pressure back and makes them slow the offensive move there, and ends up being a Raiders throw-in. So we have Richard White cheering on Riley White from San Antonio. So San Antonio and Portland, those are some good distances away. Good to have you tuning in, Richard. And Jara Ryan cheering on the Raiders. Riley White. Looks like Riley White is the niece of Aunt Jara and Uncle Mike there in Littleton, Colorado. So Colorado, Portland, Hudson, San Antonio, everybody's tuning in to watch Riley. And Riley's graduating tomorrow too, so it's a very exciting weekend for these Hudson seniors. About 6 minutes now left in the half. Raiders continue to lead 2-0. This is an interesting setup here, and Kendhammer comes out, recognizes where she's at, and gives that ball a kick, and makes a great play, because the Huskies were there to try to make something happen. It's a good play by Kendhammer. Maggie McConnell sends that ball out wide, and Nault just a little far away, but that went off a Husky. Nope, it'll be a Huskies throw. And New Jersey. I forgot about Jersey for Riley White as well. So we got big shot there by the Huskies, but not on goal. And Kendhammer will take the goal kick now with about 5 minutes left in the half. So actually Riley White has all 4 directions covered, with the west in Portland and the south in San Antonio and the east in New Jersey and here in Hudson. And Colorado's in there somewhere. Nevaeh Tillman with a nice play up the line. Grace Hansen clipped a little bit there. That's getting a little. You gotta be careful going after people from behind. The referee has definitely made it clear he's going to call that tonight. But Grace kept her feet, so no foul. Some substitutions here. Not sure who came in there. So we'll just go move on. Tillman with the throw up the line. Huskies go for the clear, but Tillman can't control it, and it goes out of bounds. It'll be a Huskies throw. Riley White with a nice pass up the field to Grace Lewis. Grace Hansen now takes it in the middle of the field. Starting to have a little pressure. Tries to thread the needle and does to Nault. Nault's got some speed, and she does a nice ball over to Tillman, who sends it in, but nobody's out wide. Everybody was kind of on the goal or further. So good play by the Raiders, but it'll be a Huskies goal kick now with about 3 minutes left in the match. Nault gathers it down and dishes it out to Grace Hansen, who swings it over to Hannah Huntley. Puts it up, but just a tough angle for Rancinici to get to. That'll be a throw-in for the Huskies. Another throw-in for the Huskies. It's now turned into really a beautiful night here in Hudson, Wisconsin. The rain has subsided. The temperature is very pleasant. Skyline is beautiful here around getting to be sunset. Huskies trying to get it out of their zone here. Referee calls an offsides there on Sophia Nault. 2 minutes. Big kick up, sneaks through, but there's Maggie McConnell to take it back. Great play by Jillian Brown. Just comes in, plays the ball nicely. Calling a foul on the Raiders. I think that's Ellie Stubendick. A little more physicality than probably necessary there. It's definitely been a physical game on both sides. Lots of shoulder hits and things like that. 1 minute. Tillman fighting it out on the sideline and tries to one-touch it. Kind of mishits it, but it actually works out well. Gets it up there. Raiders go deep. Nobody there to collect it other than the Huskies goalkeeper, who gives it a punt. Now down to about 20 seconds in the first half. Raiders continue to lead 2-0, and that will most likely be our score here at halftime. Second half should be a good one. Huskies put some pressure on. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's the halftime, folks. Please visit the concession stand for some of the tasty treats. All right, folks, and we're back for the second half of tonight's regional girls soccer matchup here in Hudson, Wisconsin, with the hometown Hudson Raiders in blue, playing from right to left on your screen now, and with a 2-goal lead over the visiting Eau Claire North Huskies in white, playing from left to right. There's Ali Stubendick in the far corner, putting a quick cross on. Ransanici's there. Maintains control, but has to bring it out. Stubendick collects a little miss hit, gets a little pop in there, and a nice play by Husky goalkeeper. That would be Ella Peterson. Nice play there by Ella, laying out and getting that ball, which probably would have been a goal for the Raiders. So, yeah. And here we go. Huskies with the ball and looking at control. Looks like we had some comments entered during the halftime break. Let's see. We have Casey Zimmerman from Nebraska also cheering on Riley White. So a whole lot of Riley White fans out there. Kay Lewis. So tuning in is Kay and Huntley Lewis. That's Grace Lewis's grandparents. I know Grace and her family quite well. Her brother Jack graduated with one of my sons, and and my other son is the same age as Grace. So both graduating here, very exciting. Been fun to watch Grace play at the varsity level here the last couple of years. So good to have you tuned in. Kay and Huntley, and from Appleton, Wisconsin. Love Appleton. And then it looks like we have Larry cheering on the Raiders and giving good luck to Grace Hansen and Grace Lewis, both Graces. So two good players, and thanks, Larry, for tuning in. So hopefully Raiders will deliver a victory here, but we'll see what happens. A 2-goal lead is no one's ever comfortable with that in soccer. So there's Maggie McConnell with the clear for the Raiders, sending it up. Sophia Nault chasing it down, but out of reach. Will be a Huskies kick here. The winner of this match will move on to play the winner of Eau Claire Memorial High School and DC Everest, who are going to play tomorrow. This match also was supposed to be played tomorrow, but due to the Hudson High School graduation, they moved the game to tonight. So whoever wins this match will play either Eau Claire Memorial or DC Everest. And there's a nice solid play by the Huskies coming up the sideline, playing strong and fast. Riley White with some good defense there for her fan club. And Huskies take a shot, but that was not on goal and high and wide, so Raiders will get a goal kick here. Those of you unfamiliar with the territory, you probably heard me mention Eau Claire Memorial, and this is Eau Claire North, so the city of Eau Claire is a large city and has two high schools, as well as, I believe, a private school or two. So both having some success here in the regionals with wins. And Eau Claire, Hudson may play both Eau Claires if they keep this lead up, and if Eau Claire Memorial wins next weekend. All right, foul on the Raiders. It's going to give the Huskies a kick there. Hannah Huntley with a really nice clear there. In the regional games, just so everybody knows, if at the end of regulation time the score is tied, the process is to play 2 10-minute overtime periods. So it's not sudden death. It's just simply 10-minute periods, and who's ever leading at the end of those 2 periods will be the victor. And if it's still tied there, then it will go to the shootout, the free kicks from the penalty mark, in groups of 5. So doesn't happen often, but it does happen. Raiders are going to be working hard here to keep this 2-0 lead, so it doesn't get anywhere near that. But other games it may fall to that. Here's Nevaeh Tillman. Left-footed ball goes off a Husky, so it doesn't quite go where Nevaeh wanted it. She's got it back again here. Now she feeds it up to Ransonici. Again, Tillman battles it out and wins it. Ransonici decides to slow it down. Good choice. Here comes Nault. Goalkeeper made just enough effort on the ball that her trip up of Nault wouldn't be considered a penalty. So Raiders get the throw. Good hustle by Sophia. Ball gets over. Curls in, but taken by the Huskies. But now Stubendick's on it. And that's going to be a Huskies throw. I also heard through the grapevine that Todd Holter is listening in from Camp Ripley, I believe. So, Todd, good to have you listening in, and thanks for your service. And we'll hope the Raiders keep this lead up. Number 4, Jillian Brown in the game for the Raiders. Maggie McConnell goes deep, probably too deep. Those dead down the center balls are very, very tough to make anything happen with, but sometimes that's the best you can do on that play. And ideally, you want to have it up high and angled to the corners so that the goalkeeper can't get out and get it. But that can be a tall order and a tough play to make when the ball is bouncing and moving at you and players are all over. So, but that's the ideal. So you might see that big kick in and wonder why they do it. But if you can place that ball well, it can be a very dangerous play in the playbook. Olivia Petty tried to get a little more on that too. Probably tried to send that one a little bit wider. But again, gathered up by the Huskies, and will be a punt for them. Jillian Brown bringing it back to Maggie McConnell. Gets it out to Kylie Newis. Puts a big left on into Ransonici. Sends it further out. Didn't quite get as much on that as she wanted. That was a nice sequence of plays by the Raiders, though. It's kind of what you want to do is work it in and work it out, and Ransonici tried to do that. It's not always as easy as it sounds, though. Here we go. Maggie McConnell chasing it down and sends it out of bounds. So it'll be a Huskies throw-in at about the 49-minute mark. So we actually have a corner kick here. I'm not sure we've had a corner kick yet tonight. So the Huskies get it. This can be a very potent weapon for any team that gets one, because you really get a free pass to deliver that ball into the prime scoring area. Significant number of goals at all levels of play, professional, etc., are scored off corner kicks. So and the Huskies are going to get another one here. Ideally, you want to deliver it, if you're looking at the screen, maybe around that the blue and the end zone line. Oof. Good play there by the Huskies. They get it in again, but a nice header out. Yeah. By Stubendick made a nice defensive play coming all the way back as a striker to help out on defense. They really want to keep this lead. Huskies kind of a odd kick out of bounds there, but they kick the ball out of bounds to avoid the oncoming Raiders. And it'll be a Raiders throw-in. Number 22, Natalie Ramthen in the game for the Raiders. Huskies turn it again. Shoulder to shoulder for the most part, but maybe a little more by the Raiders. So ref decides to call the foul on Riley White. And big kick here. It's about 48 yards out, so they're going to try to place it and see if they can do something with it. It's a nice ball there. It's a nice ball, but the Raiders are on it. Maggie McConnell, big blast there. Wide and high, so Raiders will get a goal kick here, but the Huskies, again, kind of like the first half, they had a stretch where they got the ball and controlled it in Raider territory for a while, and in the first half they weren't able to put anything on goal, but in this half they're starting to get a little more on it and bringing it on goal a bit more, so threatening to make this match more interesting than it is. Great step up there by Riley White. Hannah Kendhammer there for the Raiders, picks up the roller, and is going to give it a ride. Natalie Ramthen looked to pass, but then realized she could take a step and did. And here comes Stubendick using her speed. Takes a blast. High and wide. Will be a goal kick for the Huskies. Number 24, Olivia Petty in the game for the Raiders. So a little bit of a collision there in the goal area, and the referee elects to make no call. Anytime there's a collision and someone goes down in the goal box, it becomes a serious matter, especially to fans, because that can give you a PK, which is about a 99.9% chance of scoring. And Eau Claire needs that kind of a goal here to get back in the game and to make it a little more interesting, but most referees need a lot more than probably what happened there to give a PK, because there was some back and forth there, and so the score maintains 2-0, Raiders with the lead. Again, another call on the Raiders near midfield. Again, looked like a little bit of pushing and shoving. And Huskies essentially get the kick here from midfield. Olivia Petty picks that ball up. Trip off the ball. Call is made. So the Huskies get another free kick, this time about 20 yards closer. This is a much more dangerous spot for a ball here. They're lining up to take a shot. That's a pretty long shot, a 36, 37-yard shot. But sometimes when there's a lot of bodies in front, goalies can misplay it. So sometimes you take that chance. Raiders defense has played pretty strong lately. Inadvertent handball there, and the Huskies will give the Raiders a free kick now. Maggie McConnell gearing up to take this ball. I'm not sure that's exactly what she wanted, but looks like it's going to go off the Huskies. It'll be a Raiders throw, so Raiders advance the ball regardless. Definitely see the pressure in this half. Huskies really wanting to get back into this match. Raiders really wanting to maintain the lead, maintain the shutout. So quite a bit more intensity on the field the second half than the first. Raiders now getting the ball into Husky territory. Hannah Huntley brings it up the line off a Husky, and that'll be a throw-in for the Raiders. Throw into Natalie Ramthen. Uses the bounce to get a nice ball in. Grace Lewis pops it back to Jillian Brown, who sends it out. That's a nice ball. See, that's angled out and sent deep. Raiders were able to get on it, but not do much with it, unfortunately. And the Huskies kick it out of bounds, and it'll be a Raiders throw. Hannah Huntley on the sideline. A little bit of physicality there by the Huskies, knocks Huntley over, and they get the foul, and Huntley kicks a nice ball up to Ransonici, who gets it out wide open to Ramthen, or to Petty, who tries to put a quick left-footed shot, and just kind of wasn't the right angle and the right bounce for the left shot there, but a good attempt. Really nice look by Ransonici to get that ball out to Petty in a little space, and right idea to take that shot. She might have been able to settle it and set up a little better opportunity, but not a lot of time, and you got to make a decision, and it was a good attempt either way. Here's Newis. A little misplay there by Jillian Brown, not a big deal. Be a Huskies throw in. Another Huskies throw-in. We're now at about the 60-minute mark. Getting close to about 20 minutes left in this match. Hometown Hudson Raiders in blue with the lead. Again, this broadcast is by the River Channel, and you're watching it either on YouTube or on the River Channel YouTube site. John Tangen is here with me. John handles the camera, the sound, the equipment, does a lot of amazing things here, especially in the rain. And I'm Jeff Ian. I'm your announcer. And the Huskies get another corner kick, so they're getting some opportunities here, and we'll see what happens. Big left-footed ball. It's high. It's a good play. A little tight to the end line. You kind of like that ball high like that, and maybe out about 5 to 8 yards from the end line. Number 19, Nevaeh Tillman in the match for the Raiders. Huskies using some speed. Raiders got to watch the bumping from behind. Last thing the Raiders want to do is give up a PK to bring that to within one goal. So, but they got to be ready for that speed here at the end, because there's definitely a little advantage there with the Huskies, it looks like. Set up with a cross. There's Riley White with a good clear. Ooh, Huskies again with a tough play. That's a tough spot to score a goal, but if someone had been on that far post, they would have had a great opportunity. So, Huskies knocking on the door. Number 16, Ellie Stubendick back in the match for the Raiders. Oh, nice play by Grace Hansen there. Or Grace Lewis, sorry. Really nice play. Ransonici back to Tillman. Sends a left foot a little short of Lewis. Rampton with some good defense there. Disrupting things. Some pushing going on there. Be a Huskies throwing. Huskies are feeling like maybe they've got something cooking here and can make something happen. There's Tillman out of the fray. Puts a big left foot up. Grace Lewis with a really nice tap out to Ransonici, who sends it back into the middle. Three Huskies there. They kick that ball out, but what's happening now is it starts to become a clock game. We're down to about 16 and a half minutes, and all of this is time off the clock. So kicking the ball deep and working for throw-ins and working for kicks does nothing but take time off. And there's a ball in. Ooh. Ransonici got in there and kind of disrupted things. And actually that was Grace Lewis. And boy, if someone had been home for the Raiders there on the top of the box, that would have been a goal. Actually, Natalie Rampton scored on that kind of a situation just the other night. So good work by the Raiders and good defense by the Huskies. Keeps that score where it is at 2-0 and be a Huskies goal kick. Raiders again with a decent opportunity there, but nobody home to kind of go after that ball. And collected by the Huskies goalkeeper and about to give it a punt. Huskies kick that ball out of bounds. It'll be a Raiders throw. Kylie Newis gearing up for the throw. Gets it into Petty, who gets it back. Kicked out of bounds again by the Huskies. And again, all this is time off the clock, so Raiders are fine, more or less, with these kicks going out of bounds. Petty trying for a big left-footed cross, and there's an inadvertent handball on the Raiders, and the Huskies will get a kick here from deep in their territory. And they kick it right out of bounds. It'll be a Raiders throw. Number 12, Grace Hansen back in the game for the Raiders. Grace Hansen immediately on the ball, sends it high and wide to Grace Lewis, or actually Allie Stubendick. It's a little far for me to see it perfectly sometimes until I see the number. Great play by Stubendick. Gets it into Rancinici. Can't quite, kind of body just wasn't in a good spot to take a shot there, so she kind of gives it back to Stubendick, who then takes a rip. Not an ideal angle for a shot, but you kind of hope for a rebound, a ricochet situation. Corner kick for the Raiders, their first one, I think, of the match. They decide to play it short in the short game and try to work it in, and that's disrupted by the Huskies. They've got it deep. There's some speed here, but Tillman's got the angle. Oof. And goalkeeper comes out. Hannah Kendhammer makes a good play. Goes off Kendhammer into the post and out of bounds. Will be a Huskies corner kick. That was a little dangerous play. The speed on the left outside side of the Huskies is impressive, and the Raiders have struggled a bit with that. Kind of a low ball in, disrupted by Grace, or by Hannah Huntley. Huskies get another cross on, but everybody was kind of sucked in front of the net, so that's a tough ball to get on to make something happen. Number 17, Sophia Nault, back in the game for the Raiders. Hannah Kendhammer with a big kick out, looking for Nault, disrupted by the Huskies. Big ball up the field. Comes Nault using her speed. Both sides have some good outside speed on that far side of the field. Down to about 11 minutes now, just a hair over 11 minutes in the match. Raiders continue to lead 2-0. They've held off some good attempts by the Huskies. Huskies have just kind of struggled to get the quality shots and plays on the goal. So had a lot of time in the Raiders side of the field. Good play by Nevaeh Tillman. Great takeaway. Ball gets up and Nault is able to get on it and actually still maintains control here. And again, using more speed. She goes for a quick cross. Gets popped up. Grace Lewis out there keeping it under control. Lewis tries to pop it back in. But eventually cleared by the Raiders. Here's Nevaeh Tillman. Coach Solom telling the girls to kind of slow down a bit. You don't have to kick it up there immediately. Take a look, set yourself up if you've got time, and it's good advice from the coach there on the sideline. Kylie Lewis popping it up to Grace Lewis with a little tip up, and she's going to keep it, and she's able to keep it in bounds. Great hustle, Grace Lewis. Now she sets up, puts a cross, and oh, there's two Raiders there. Oh! Sophia Nault. Great turn by Stubendick. Good stuff out of the Raiders here, folks. Great hustle by Grace Lewis to get that ball crossed in. Was a little high for Sophia Nault, and then I think Ellie Stubendick was playing with the idea Nault was going to get something on that, and so her timing was off, and she wasn't able to do what she wanted. But then some exciting play, but the Huskies are able to hold. Tillman with the throw gives a nice little lob pass over the head of the Huskies. Grace Lewis popping it in. Here's Nault again. Raiders need somebody filling in the far side. Brings it back. There's Petty. Oop. Like a possible handball there, but the ref must have felt it was not. And the ball goes deep, and Kendhammer picks it up. Maggie McConnell chasing it and tracing it in to shield it a bit, and Raiders are going to be able to take a little bit of time off the clock here with the punt. Again, that's an ideal situation for time. Nothing illegal about it, just how it works in soccer. Nevaeh Tillman on the sideline. And we're going to have a substitution here. Number 4, Jillian Brown, back in the game for the Raiders. Todd, I see your comment. Good to have you tuned in, my friend, and we'll see you tomorrow night at graduation. Huskies Raiders throw in here. Nevaeh Tillman gearing up for the throw. Sophia Nault with a nice turn there. Tries to send it low and through. Whew. Grace Lewis with some good hustle in there, but the goalkeeper was just too close. So we're now down to about 7 minutes in the match. Still a lot of time with just a 2-goal lead. Riley White with a nice play, or Natalie Ramthen there. See the orange shoes. There's Riley White on the far side, playing some tough D over there. Been a really fun match to watch, both sides with opportunities and solid defensive play, some good goalkeeping play, and probably fairly equal on time of possession, which always makes for a fun match. Inadvertent trip by Tillman will give the Huskies a kick. About 6 minutes left. We're going to send it in. Ideally, you want that ball deeper and higher if you want to score. There's Sophia Nault's going to have a breakaway. I think it's going to be hard for anyone to catch her. And she buries it. Second goal of the night. That's the 3-goal lead for Sophia Nault and the Raiders that they've been looking for. Great play by Sophia Nault. Number 17, Sophia Nault with the goal for the Raiders. Send them my way. That's right. All right, we're coming here. Good play by Kent Hammer. Jillian Brown follows that ball in nicely. So Sophia Nault with a 2-goal performance tonight. Very exciting. Grace Hansen with the ball now. Cut back. Nice play by the Huskies there. It's a tough play. The Huskies were pushing people up to try to make something happen offensively. And then Sophia Nault was able to kind of split the D, and she's got the speed that there's not many that are going to catch her. So Huskies with a decent opportunity there, but Kent Hammer just had the angle and was closer to the ball. Now down to about 3.5 minutes in the match. Maggie McConnell is going to kick that ball out of bounds. Once the clock stopped, we have a number of subs coming in. In for the Huskies, 0-0, Olivia Feltus. Number 2, Kaylee Deutsch. And number 9, Johanna Quatman. And in for the Raiders, number 7, Caitlin Cook. Kathy Homan from Wamandi, Wisconsin, cheering on Sophia Nault and those 2 goals. Thanks for tuning in. Definitely exciting. Huskies still fighting it out. They want to get on the board at a minimum here, and still 2.5 minutes, almost 3 minutes in the match. Ball's through. Maggie McConnell with a kind of steps over that ball, sets it up. Huskies kind of had another opportunity. They've had a few of those where they've kicked that ball. Yeah, I'd stop it. In for your Raiders, number 14, Raina Fort, and number 15, Gracie Nell. Quick turn there. Oop, I must have missed one. Kalia, is that Kalia? 2 minutes. So we will look for the Raiders to play here at Hudson Raider Stadium on Thursday night at 7 p.m. That match will be against either Eau Claire Memorial or DC Everest. Be a quick throw in here for the Raiders with 1.5 minutes left in the match. 1 minute. Big ball up by Maggie McConnell. Good play there by the Raiders. Trying to keep that ball up in the offensive side and let this clock tick down. Raiders with a backup, new second goalie in for the Huskies, and they try a long shot to see what happens. Nice play there by the backup keeper. We're now seconds away from the victory for the Raiders. Thanks for tuning in. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Congratulations to the Raiders for the victory. I'd like to thank both teams for a great game. I'd like to thank our officials. Also thank our coaches, our friends along the sideline collecting the balls, and all of you parents for coming out tonight. Congratulations to all seniors on the field, and Hudson with graduation tomorrow. Congratulations, ladies. Everybody have a great night. Drive safely. As much as possible to stay off the track. We're trying to get things set for graduation. We don't need anything left on the track or things like that. So thank you. Next Raider game will be next Thursday at 7 p.m. here at Hudson. Winner will be determined tomorrow night. Thanks again. Have a great night.